Welcome to another episode where we dive deep into the latest in recruitment strategies, AI innovations, and HR solutions. If you're looking to elevate your hiring game and stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of talent acquisition, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with insights, expert interviews, and actionable tips to transform your recruitment approach. Stay tuned for exclusive content designed to make your hiring process smarter, faster, and more effective.
Ever feel like trying to find the perfect person for a job is like, well, almost impossible. Like trying to find something tiny in a giant haystack.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. And it feels like things are changing so fast these days, too.
It really does.
Mm?
And it seems like everyone, and I mean everyone, is turning to technology to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
Using those recruitment SaaS solutions that
Yeah.
everyone's talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those platforms that are supposed to make hiring, better.
Right.
So for this deep dive, you've been looking into some articles about what people really want, what they're really demanding from these tools.
I have, yeah.
So let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it. I think one of the biggest takeaways is that people have really high expectations, which makes sense.
For sure.
Like, gone are the days of just basic applicant tracking.
Right.
Companies want solutions that can handle everything,
Yeah.
from finding candidates to, actually onboarding them, all while giving them useful data and insights.
Okay, so it sounds like it's about efficiency, but it's more than that.
Yes.
It's also about being, smarter about who you're hiring.
Yes, exactly. It's about making smarter decisions. And that all starts with having a really solid foundation. And that's efficient resume parsing.
Okay.
Companies get bombarded with tons of applications,
Yeah.
and they're all formatted differently.
Right.
So being able to look at all those resumes, whether they're PDFs, Word docs, even just plain text files, and quickly and accurately pull out the important stuff, that's non-negotiable these days.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're not just talking about, digitizing resumes, right?
Right.
It's about having a system that actually understands what it's looking at.
Yes.
And can find those little crucial pieces of information.
Yeah, and that's where AI comes in.
Okay.
Specifically, it's these large language models, what they call LLMs.
LLM.
Think of LLMs as the brains behind AI's ability to process and understand human language.
So this is like those sci-fi movies, right?
Yeah.
Where the computers can, understand us better than we understand ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not far off. They train these LLMs on massive, massive amounts of data, both text and code. And this lets them look at resumes with a depth of understanding that goes way beyond just matching keywords.
So how does that actually work in the real world of, hiring someone? Give me an example.
Okay, let's say you're trying to hire a project manager,
Okay.
and they need experience in tech.
Got it.
Now, a normal system might only look for keywords like project management and software development,
Right.
but an LLM can actually go deeper. It can realize that someone who's managed complex projects, even in a totally different field, say event planning, might actually have very transferable skills
Okay.
that would make them successful in tech, even though their resume doesn't explicitly say tech.
So it's not about matching job titles. It's about actually getting what the experience means.
Yes, exactly. And that's a game changer because it opens up your pool of possible candidates to people who might have been overlooked.
I see. That's really valuable. So we tackled the resume part. What's next in this quest for, the perfect recruitment process?
So once you've found those possible candidates, you have to move them through the process efficiently. And that's where workflow automation comes in.
Okay, so this is all about, making things easier.
Yes.
Less work for everyone. Because nobody wants to be dealing with tons of emails and scheduling headaches, right?
Exactly. Imagine a system that can automatically screen candidates based on what you're looking for, schedule interviews, send reminders, even get feedback from those interviewers, all while keeping everyone in the loop.
Wow. So no more lost emails, no more, accidentally scheduling two things at once.
Exactly.
Just, smooth sailing from start to finish.
Yeah. And it's not just about saving time either.
Definitely.
It actually makes the experience better for the candidate, too.
Because, nobody likes sending in an application and then just hearing nothing, right?
Yeah.
You want to know if anybody even saw it?
You want to know what's going on. Candidates these days, they want things to be transparent. They want to know where they stand in the process, what the next steps are,
Makes sense.
even if they're not going to get the job they want to know.
Totally. It's like,
Okay.
even if this isn't the right job for you right now, you're still a person.
Exactly.
We still might want to work with you in the future. So
Yes, and you want to treat everyone with respect.
exactly.
And that's another place where having these platforms talk to your other systems is really important.
Okay.
Things like your HR systems, your communication tools, even background check providers.
So it's all connected.
Yeah, so everything works together smoothly. You're not jumping between a million different platforms or copying and pasting information.
Right. You don't want data living in all these different places.
Right. It's about having one source of truth for all of your hiring information.
Okay. And speaking of data,
Yes.
that brings us to another big expectation, real-time analytics.
Yes, because what good is all this information if you're not using it to make better decisions, right?
Yeah, exactly. You need to be able to actually use it.
Right.
So what kinds of things can these platforms track?
Well, they're getting incredibly good at tracking all the important stuff throughout the entire hiring process.
Okay.
We're talking time to hire, cost per hire candidate, drop-off rates, all of it.
So you can see where you need to make changes.
Yes, exactly. This data is so valuable when it comes to actually making your process better and making sure your decisions are based on facts, not just gut feelings.
So instead of just hoping for the best, you can see what's working, what's not.
Exactly. And then you can actually make changes in real time.
I like it.
So let's say you're seeing that a lot of people are dropping out of the process at a certain point.
Okay.
That tells you to look closer at that stage and figure out why.
Interesting.
Maybe the application's too long. Maybe there's not enough communication happening at that point. The data can help you zero in on those problems.
So you can fix them.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so data for making things better, but it's also about making sure that the teams we're building are diverse and inclusive, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not just a nice to have anymore. It's a must have.
Absolutely. And these platforms are getting better at including features that help with diversity and inclusion.
So tell me about that. What does that look like practically? How can technology actually help us be fairer in our hiring?
Well, a lot of platforms now offer what they call bias detection tools.
Okay.
And these tools can look at your job descriptions and even your screening processes to find places where you might have bias and then help you get rid of it.
So it's like having someone double check our work, but that someone is completely objective.
Yes, exactly. It's like having an extra set of eyes.
Interesting.
Because we all have unconscious biases, right? And
Right.
these tools can help us see them, and then we can do something about it.
I love that.
So, for example, maybe there's some wording in a job description that might actually discourage people from certain backgrounds from applying.
Oh, it's interesting.
Or maybe there are differences in how you're screening candidates from different backgrounds and you don't even realize it.
Wow.
These tools can point those things out to you.
That's really cool.
So it's about using technology to help us overcome our own blind spots,
Right.
which leads to a fairer outcome for everyone.
I love it. This is all so fascinating. Seems like we've covered a lot.
We have.
Efficient resume, parsing, AI-powered matching, making the whole process smoother with automation, data analytics,
Yep.
making sure our systems can talk to each other, and even tools to help make sure that we're hiring from a diverse pool of candidates.
It's a lot, but we're really just scratching the surface.
really?
Yes, the world of recruitment sauce is changing so fast, there are new innovations popping up all the time.
Okay, so what does the future hold? What's coming next in this world?
One trend we're seeing is this move towards even more personalization.
Okay, personalization.
Oh.
How does that work with recruiting?
So imagine instead of just getting generic job recommendations,
Right.
candidates get shown opportunities that are actually tailored to them,
Okay.
to their specific skills and experience, and even like their career goals.
Wow.
Maybe even their preferred work-life balance.
So it's not just about what's on their resume. It's about them as a person.
Yes, exactly. And this is becoming possible because of all the advances in AI and machine learning.
Okay.
These systems are getting so good at understanding what people want
That's amazing.
and what they like and what they're looking for in a job. It's like having a personal career coach who's always out there looking for the best opportunities for you.
So cool. And I'm guessing this helps recruiters too.
Definitely, they can use these tools to make their outreach more personalized too.
What do you mean?
So instead of sending out like a generic message to
Yeah.
everyone,
Which nobody likes getting those.
exactly, they can tailor the message to each person,
Okay.
highlighting the parts of the job or the company that would be most interesting to that specific person.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. It's like actually making a connection
Yes, exactly.
instead of just like sending out a million applications and hoping for the best.
Right, it's about quality over quantity.
Totally. Okay. So all of this is great. But we have to talk about privacy.
Yes, of course.
Because if we're using all this data to personalize the experience,
Right.
we have to make sure that data is being handled responsibly.
Absolutely. Data security and compliance are more important than ever.
Yeah.
Companies are understandably concerned about protecting candidate information.
Makes sense. So what are these SaaS companies doing to make sure everything is safe and secure?
Well, for one thing, they're building in really strong security measures.
Okay.
Things like encrypting the data, controlling who has access to it, and doing regular security checks.
So like someone can't just hack in and steal all this information.
Exactly. They're making sure it's really, really difficult.
Good.
And it's not just about the technical stuff either.
Okay.
They're also making sure that they're following all the rules and regulations around data privacy, things like GDPR and CCPA.
So they're not going to get in trouble for using this data in the wrong way.
Exactly. They don't want to get sued, and they want people to trust them.
Makes sense. So it's about protecting everyone involved.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Well, this has been so interesting. We've learned so much about how technology is changing the way we hire.
It really is amazing when you think about it.
From finding the right candidates to making the process smoother to using data to make better decisions.
It's changing everything.
It really is. And it seems like the companies that are going to be most successful are the ones who are embracing these changes.
Absolutely. They're the ones who are going to be able to find and hire the best people.
Exactly. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all of this,
Which is understandable. It's a lot.
it is. Don't worry, you're not alone.
There's so much information out there and so many great tools available.
Exactly. So do your research, find the tools that work for you, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, I think we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest episodes and exclusive content designed to enhance your recruitment strategies.